So guys, how does it feel to both have won in 2022?
Yeah, we won basically everything this year.
Couldn't have asked for too much more, I guess.
It's been great.
I've been mortified, fortified, feeling like a Mordecai. I ain't regular, feel like Jordan wearing 45. Traumatized, victimized, seen some of my die. Knock you off a base with a bat when them niggas slide. Homicide, genocide, televised, emphasize, perpetuating war. Tell that nigga he gon' pick a side. Hood ties from hood lines, now niggas doing dope lines. Don't run into the cops, that's a big exercise. Don't run into the cops, that's the motto. I don't see it coming to an end like legato.
Doing the full Ironman, it's a different game. So we basically had no prior history of a long course, even though we have done great in the half distance before.
The reason why we had so much success going into the long course and like the new challenge is a little bit because we're like bringing in the way we've been working in short course and always like being sort of using the science and the numbers to help us and support us and to get a better understanding. And yeah, I feel it's been 12 months of learning. The tricky part in Ironman is you have to sort of look at the whole swim, bike and run as it's like one race, almost like you're racing there for 8 hours. And if you're like tuning your body to be able to be quicker in the water, you will maybe sacrifice it for the energy system later on the bike and on the run. And the same, especially on the bike, like you can really dial into an aerodynamic position, which will maybe make you faster for the bike, but it will be much more costly coming onto the marathon. So it's been like being able to find that sweet spot of being fast, but also not sacrificing what's coming up later on in the race.
My Kona strategy was pretty simple before the race. Try to be on the front pack in the swim and then ride okay conservatively, but not losing too much time. And then the last 10-15k on a run I would go really hard. Basically everything went as planned. You obviously have to do some adjustment during the race. At one point there, halfway in the bike, I was really struggling. I was really far behind and I was definitely not riding conservatively anymore. I was pushing way up in the threshold zone and sometimes even above. So even though like the whole picture kind of went exactly as planned, it is moments in the race where you are really struggling and you have to dig deeper than you thought.
Well, in St. George, I obviously wanted to be in that first pack. Yeah, sort of by myself, and had to ride the first 60k by myself before I was caught by some stronger riders from behind. And that was definitely not my plan when I woke up in the morning or in like the winter training. So I felt I was sort of out of control, but I was thinking that if I'm able to get through the last 100k on the bike without losing too much more time, then I would still be in like a shot for at least a podium. I think it made the feeling of winning that race even more special because I felt I was sort of behind schedule the whole day from the swim, bike, and then 14k to go. I was finally like bridging up and going into the front and knowing that, yeah, I have the win in my pocket.
In a race like Kona, it's not about always having the pure fastest bike. You have to have the best system. So that includes the nutrition and the wheels and yeah, your position on the bike, because you got to run a marathon after.
To be a part of developing a bike like this is obviously special. Like to feel the support from such a big brand as CADEX and the fact that they believed in me even before I won any of the titles I've done. I think it was the end of 2020 when they came up with the idea that I could be the first guy to ride the new CADEX Tri.
So we're both obviously spending an insane amount of time together. Sometimes a bit too much, so it's good to have some breaks. But yeah, when we line up at the start line, it's good to have some kind of comfort, because we know that we've been doing the same training and we have the same ambition. And even though we're competitors, we are competitors trying to win together. It's a bit hard to explain, but we kind of have two shots, because obviously if I have a sick day, which I actually had quite a lot of sick days this year, I know that Kristian is ready on the start line and he's gonna make it really hard for the rest to win. Even though we both want to win ourselves, we kind of have like a second shot with our other guy on the start line.
You're not just standing there on the start line by yourself, but you have someone around that's sort of giving you a little bit slack on the course until the very end. Yeah. Because like we tend to work together until like a moment in the race where you suddenly try to stab each other and go for the win.
So we're both holding the knife to each other's back, and so we're waiting. When is the backstabbing coming? So we're kind of helping each other, pushing, but then we do the final stab, the last few K on the run.